Okay, hello and welcome to Resources to Support Families of Students with or at Risk for Reading Disabilities. My name is Sarah Sago and I am Deputy Director in the National Center on Improving Literacy and lead the parent and family strand of work at the center. Briefly, NCIL is a federally funded national comprehensive center established by the Every Student Succeeds Act in the fall of 2016. It is jointly administered by the Office of Special Education Programs and the Office of Elementary and Secondary Education at the U.S. Department of Education. And here on the screen, you can see our mission. I want to start by introducing the framework in which we think of family engagement at NCIL. And on the screen, you'll see our foundational infographic on key roles for children's literacy success. Each quadrant represents one of the four roles: learn, advocate, support, and partner. So for educators and families to work in mutually supportive ways in implementing evidence-based literacy instruction, we need to take a closer look at these key roles that can be played for families and educators to be empowered and engaged. So taken together, these diverse roles represent shared leadership between school and home. So briefly, when we think about the learn of role, we think of it focused on families and educators as co-learners, monitors, and observers. For the role of advocate, it's really about families and educators as co-advocates and models. Partner centers on families and educators as co-communicators, problem solvers, and decision makers. And lastly, support is about families and educators as co-supporters, teachers, creators, and encouragers. So regardless of the role taken by family members, families and educators inform one another and share their expertise and knowledge about the student to support literacy outcomes and promote competence. So enhancing student reading outcomes is the goal of the family-school collaboration and the relationships within and across the school, in and out of the school. So moving forward, I want to talk about the first key role, which is support. And as we go through today, I'm going to talk about all of the free evidence-based resources that are aligned to each of the four roles that you saw earlier. So we're going to kick it off, as I mentioned, with the role of support. And when we talk about the role of support, we're really talking about providing the ideas of providing practice at home to reinforce skills learned at school, talking and reading together often, leveraging everyday activities, and promoting a literacy-rich environment. And those are the concepts that are really overviewed in the snapshot of the infographic that you see here on the screen, which is then accompanied by a 1 or 2 page literacy brief that dives a little deeper into those ideas. So all of these infographics and briefs that introduce these topics are really great resources to share with families so they can learn more about each of these roles. So next we have our implementation toolkit on supporting your child's literacy development. And these are online implementation toolkits that are very comprehensive in nature. And the Supporting Your Child's Literacy Development Home Toolkit helps parents and families take part in literacy experiences at home to develop children's reading and language skills. So through this toolkit, families will learn strategies, tips, and activities to help their child develop as a reader from preschool through adolescence, and how to listen, look, help, and encourage while they and their children participate in activities together. So this toolkit includes an online interactive tutorial, which is available, is self-study and available on demand, supporting materials, related resources, and a facilitator guide. And the facilitator guide is really intended for school staff who may want to think about delivering the online tutorial as a workshop series directly to families. So the facilitator guide tells you how you might go about doing that and provides you with tips and activities and resources to support that type of event. And on the next slide here, you'll see a snapshot of that facilitator guide. And from our website, all the materials that's available to you to download. It includes the facilitator guide that you see here on the screen, as well as a series of PowerPoint slide decks that you might use in a virtual setting or a face-to-face setting to deliver that supporting your child's literacy development at home tutorial to families. And you can see here also that it's divided into 3 sections of the tutorial. So there's a preschool track, an elementary track, and an adolescent track. So you can choose to share or deliver the track that is most applicable in your setting. Another resource that I want to share with you aligned to that role of support is our Supporting Students with Reading Needs Toolkit. And this toolkit was developed in collaboration with the Ohio State Department of Education, and it helps parents and families use everyday time together as an opportunity for learning and building reading skills. So in this tutorial, families will learn simple and effective ways to help students develop literacy skills and ways to make reading a part of their everyday experiences. So this toolkit includes a handful of videos, tools and resources, and recommended books and apps. And I would say the target audience for this would be parents of young children, preschool through grade 2. Another resource for support is our Kids Zone, which is accessible through our main improvingliteracy.org website. And the Kids Zone is a place where parents and caregivers can participate as their child builds literacy skills in a fun and interactive way. It includes literacy games, audiobooks, ebooks, streaming video books read aloud, and NCIL's original comic book series, Uncanny Chronicles, which stars a protagonist with dyslexia. What's great about the site is that it also has tips for how parents and caregivers can interact with their child when exploring the Kids Zone. And the Kids Zone is a great source for texts if few texts exist in families' homes, and they can be used to apply the activities, tips, and strategies learned in the other toolkits available for families through NCIL. So I want to end this support role with sharing a couple of other resources with you. The first being the resource repository. And in the resource repository, families will find recommended websites, downloads, and videos from reliable sources promoting evidence-based practices. And you can search by audience, topic, and resource type to find information you're seeking. Our Ask the Expert feature, where commonly asked questions from both educators and families are presented to literacy experts who then answer that question in written or video format. And then our Learning Literacy Glossary is a glossary of the most common literacy terms written in consumable, family-friendly ways. So it's a great place to go if you are wanting to convey to families different literacy concepts and you want to find an accessible way to state that term. You can use our Learning Literacy Glossary to help you do that.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I want to thank Dr. Sarah Seiko for presenting for us today, and thank you to all of you for joining the National Center on Improving Literacy presentation on resources to support families with students with or at risk for reading disabilities. For additional resources, please visit the NCIL website as noted earlier. And again, thank you, Dr. Seiko. And remember to join us at promotingprogress.org and visit our website. Thanks so much.